Is the Mega Man X game still worth playing in 2025? Find out in this video. Hello and welcome to the channel. The name's Josezy, and today I'm going to review a classic. I know there's not a lot that hasn't been said about this game, but I'm going to give it the express treatment for those who haven't been lucky enough to play this classic gem. Mega Man X came out long ago in late December of 1993 in Japan, but here in the States we got it in 1994. It came out for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System and was a spin-off and a more mature take on the original Mega Man series. I'll only be covering the main plot points, but there may still be spoilers here and there, so if you want to avoid those, skip to this section by going to this time frame. The game starts with our main protagonist X on a mission. X ends up having to face one of the story's primary antagonists named Vile, and results in Zero, X's partner, coming in to save him, letting Vile make an escape. The altercation shows X how weak he is, and goes on a journey defeating 8 Maverick bosses to get stronger. After defeating the last of the original 8 bosses, X goes to have his rematch with Vile, who defeats both him and Zero. Zero has to make the ultimate sacrifice to destroy Vile's body armor. This sacrifice not only levels out the playing field, but also gives X a newfound strength and determination. X defeats Vile and continues to make his way through the stage facing reconstructed versions of the original 8 bosses and this stage's final boss. This is where some of the players would be confused with the story. In-game text dialogue would have you believe that Vile was the main villain, but other material like the game manual would have informed you that the real mastermind behind the Reploid Uprising is a character named Sigma. Back to the story, X has to go through 3 more stages of reconstructed bosses and 3 new final stage bosses. The true final stage has you battling Sigma's pet and 2 forms of himself. The battle ends with Sigma and his castle destroyed, and X wondering how much more fighting he still has to do. With the game and story this short, they really don't have time to introduce many characters, but let's go over some of the main ones, starting with our main protagonist X. X is a Reploid made by a professor called Dr. Light. He was the basis for the original Reploid line, and was the first Reploid possessing free will and independent thought. His main goal is to protect humans and maintain peace in the world. Zero is X's friend and mentor. We don't see much of him in the game, but from the moment he makes his first appearance we can see the level of strength and camaraderie he has for his allies. Vile is the game's second antagonist, and is extremely hateful and jealous of X. His main goal is to prove he's better than X, so he decides to work for Sigma. He also just enjoys causing chaos and destruction. Sigma is the game's main antagonist and the mastermind behind the Maverick Uprising. He believes Reploids should be in charge of the world and not humans. Dr. Light is Mega Man X's creator and the creator of the original Mega Man model. He is seen in these capsules that he left for Mega Man to use so he can upgrade his armor should the need for it ever arise. The final characters I'm going to mention are the 8 Maverick bosses and the 4 late stage bosses. First we have Flame Mammoth, who gives you the Fire Wave. Launch Octopus gives you the Homing Torpedo. Storm Eagle gives you the Storm Tornado. Armored Armadillo gives you the Rolling Shield. Chill Penguin gives you the Shotgun Ice. Sting Chameleon gives you the Chameleon Sting. Boomer Kuwanger gives you the Boomerang Cutter. And Spark Mandrill gives you the Electric Spark. The 4 late stage bosses are Boss Spider, D-Rex, Rangda Bangda, and Valgarder. Let's jump into the gameplay. The game's controls feel close to perfect for what you would need in a platformer. The movement is tight and responsive, with plenty of freedom to move around the stages in whatever way you want. Speaking of stages, each stage is designed to correlate more or less with their respective boss. For example, how Spark Mandrill is in a power plant, or how Chill Penguin is in a snowy landscape. The game also works in nice little details into the stages, like how defeating Chill Penguin freezes the lava in Flame Mammoth stage, or how destroying the ship in Launch Octopus stage floods the underground part in Sting Chameleon stage, allowing you to get this hard item. Using various methods will help you obtain items like these hard upgrades, along with the 4 body armor capsules and sub-tanks. The hard items raise your max life health bar. The sub-tanks give you an extra refill of health energy with a max capacity of 4 refills. And the 4 body armor capsules give you the headpiece, used to break these blocks, the body piece, which reduces damage by 50%, the arm piece upgrades your regular buster shot and lets you use a special powered up form of the boss's power upgrade you received. Last, and I think everyone will agree, is the most important piece, the leg upgrades. This upgrade is what makes movement in this game so fun and really speeds up the action. Just a brief mention of the music. The soundtrack is full of bangers and memorable compositions, whether it's upbeat tracks like the one heard in Storm Eagle stage, or the mellow yet inspiring music like the one you hear before you get into Dr. Light's capsules. It's really hard to not stand in a level and just enjoy the song playing. The game can be completed quite fast. On average, about an hour is enough to beat it, but can vary depending on many factors including skill, backtracking, and how familiar you are with the game. These factors are what makes revisiting the game such a fun time because you can choose to play it in whatever way you want. You can do buster only runs, no upgrade runs, and no backtracking runs. This freedom has allowed the game to become a perfect specimen for the speedrunning community. So it's time to announce my rating and final verdict on Mega Man X. And I'm gonna give it a 9, which lands it on my definitely worth buying / playing list. I didn't give it a single negative comment throughout the video, and that's because I personally don't find a whole lot wrong with the game. The only minor things I found was a little bit of slowdown and the fact that this game can be a little easy. But that's after a couple playthroughs. As I said before, you can raise the difficulty by using less upgrades. So I'm gonna deduct 1 point just so it receives a fair rating, especially since there's nothing else in the game you can complain about. Some people might argue that the missing story information also brings the game down, but for a game of that time, I feel the story the dialogue boxes contained was more than enough context for what the game needed. So yeah, buy or play this game if you get the chance. I'm your host Josezi, and I'll see y'all on the next review.